The lower ISO number that you have, the less grain that you will have in your image. But there was a question posted by a person named Electron, I think it's a guy. He asked about ISO, and he didn't know what it was or what it was used for. And very simply, all your ISO is you're telling your camera how sensitive you want it to be to light. That's it. Three things control how much light hits the sensor: is your ISO, your shutter speed, and your aperture. Aperture is also called your f-stop. This Canon 5D camera, this ISO goes from 100 all the way up to 25,600. The lower ISO number that you have, the less grain that you will have in your image. So if I were to adjust this ISO from 100 to, let's say, 200, I have made this camera twice as sensitive. If I were to go from 200 to 400, again, it's twice as sensitive from 200 to 400, 4 times as sensitive from 100 to 400, okay? If I go from 400 to 800, again, it's twice as sensitive. So let's say I was photographing something at 800 at 500th of a second. We won't even talk about your f-stop. But if I was shooting something and it was properly exposed at ISO of 800 at 500th of a second, so I want to go from 500 to 1,000th of a second, well, that picture is going to be a little bit darker because I've taken away some light. So if my ISO was 800, I would move it to 1,600 because that's twice the amount as light. So then that picture will be properly exposed because I doubled my shutter speed. In order to double my shutter speed, I have to make that light up from somewhere, and I made that up with my ISO, changing my ISO. Give me a comment, that's always appreciated, and subscribe to the channel if I've helped you at all. I appreciate you very much watching. I'll see you tomorrow.